Today's popular vote, Anthony Trimino. Mr. Trimino.
Our state is the laughingstock of the nation. My grandfather fled a communist Cuba to pursue the American dream. He didn't land in Florida, he didn't land in Arizona, he landed in California. And that American dream is on life support. Actually, I'll even say that American dream is more alive right now in Cuba, where people are being persecuted, beaten, killed, incarcerated, while they pursue our most simple God-given rights. And guess what they're using as a symbol of that freedom in Cuba? Not the Russian flag, not the Chinese flag, the American flag. So I'm fighting to restore the American dream that my grandfather fled a communist country to pursue. Thank you. That's an easy answer. Because if my grandfather, who passed away, would have been here in 2020, he would have seen a state that looked a lot like the country he fled from. So in a communist country, you have absolutely no rights. You cannot worship. They tell you when and where you can shop, if you can open up a business, who you can serve, where you can buy, where you can't buy. They control the school systems. They indoctrinate their children with radical ideologies. Why do we need to recall Newsom? So that 61 years from now, it's not us in our own streets waving another flag begging for our freedoms back. Well, thankfully, I get to work with a lot of people in the healthcare industry, scientists, doctors, people that work in the ICU. I don't blame anybody who took a heartbeat to kind of assess the situation. I think any logical mind would have done that. But I think that immediately following that, I would have realized that I was overreaching by continuing to keep schools closed, businesses closed, churches closed. And so what I would have done differently is consulted with doctors and scientists and used real data and real science. But more importantly, what I would have done, because our government wants you to think that you're ignorant and that you don't have the ability to make decisions on your own. So what I would have done is I would have educated each and every single one of you. I would have told you what the risks were. I would have told you what the outcomes were. I would have told you what your options were, and then I would have put it in your hands to make the decision that was best for you. The government doesn't have the right to tell you what businesses are essential. Every business is essential to the...
Thank you, Mr. Trimino.
Yeah, so, okay. But anyway, the government was overreaching, and the government doesn't have the ability to control your lives. And we should have given you education and the option to make the decisions that were best for you and your families.
Assemblyman Kiley.
There are 100 reasons why people are leaving California. I can give you 7 of them as to why I was leaving, but I think the top 2 reasons why people are leaving California, and the top 2 segments, families and businesses. So I talked to some parents tonight that are thinking about leaving if this election doesn't go their way, because they're absolutely fearful of what will happen to their children if they continue to stay in our public school systems. Your children are under attack, and nobody's there to protect them. Critical race theory, forced vaccinations, vaccine passports. Families are not safe. There's an attack on family. It's a spiritual, I believe it's a spiritual attack. There's an attack on family. There's an attack on core values. And then as a business owner, I'll tell you, there's this Robin Hood mentality that goes out there that says, hey, we're going to eliminate your state income tax if you make under $100,000 a year, right? It's Robin Hood, steal from the rich and give to the poor. But let me tell you what happens when you punish businesses. When you start to punish big businesses and high net worth individuals and they leave with their companies, they leave with their jobs, and they leave with their tax dollars. And who picks up the difference? The middle class. We need to be a family-friendly, business-friendly state again. I think the simple answer is that we need to let police be police again. I mean, we've kind of exhausted it. Releasing criminals obviously is not a good idea. That just seems logical. But we have to let police be police again. We have friends and family that are on LAPD and other police departments. They're being told to stand down. They're not able to actually be police officers. We need to fund the police. We need police to look more like the communities they serve. If you go into South Central right now, LA, or any inner city, and you ask any homeowner if they want less police, they'll say absolutely not. We need more police. We need safer streets. If we don't have safe streets, we do not have a sustainable society. So the homeless crisis, the government likes to take our taxpayer dollars and reinvent the wheel. We have an infrastructure in place right now in Sacramento that if we were to divert those funds to actually solving the problem, we would actually solve the homeless problem. What I would do is I would immediately connect with, and they talked about some of them like One Day LA. There are church-based nonprofit organizations from San Diego to Sacramento already doing this work. But they're not funded, they're not backed by the government, no one knows who they are, and so it's just an army of volunteer workers. So we would fund them, we would give them infrastructure, and we would teach them, just like a business, how to scale. But think about the homeless crisis for a second. Homelessness, our foster care systems, our prison systems, drug abuse, those are all symptoms of a bigger disease, and that's the broken home. And until we get to family first type of politics in Sacramento, we're never going to solve these problems. We're going to continue to put Band-Aids on problems until we actually treat the disease, which is the broken home. So safe burns and deforestation. So we have the solutions, but we don't have the money and we don't have the people. We don't have the money, we don't have the people because of conservationists that are standing in the way, that are in the pockets of all of our politicians. So what we need to do is we need to conduct a forensic audit of all of our spending, like I would as a business person. We need to cut our spending on projects that are not benefiting the general population. We need to divert those funds to what makes our states safe, including equipment for our firefighters. It's our conservationists and special interests that prevent us from doing a lot of what needs to get done in California, and I'm going to stop that. The number one problem with our schools right now is the radical ideology they're teaching our children, plain and simple. Until we stop that, there's no use in fixing the school systems. We need to stop CRT. We need to stop the indoctrinating of our children, having them question their sexuality. We've taken God out of our schools, and our schools are no longer safe. Some of you guys are contemplating leaving because of what's being taught at our schools. It's not safe. Not only that, our schools are archaic. We're not producing leaders. Our children are graduating school. They don't know how to invest, open up a checking account. They don't know how to be functioning, participating people in society. We need to rethink our entire school system, and we need to start with a leadership curriculum that sets them up for success in the real world. I've spent my entire career negotiating with very difficult people. Attorneys, CEOs, business people, domestically and internationally. I intend on going to Sacramento to collaborate. I will extend an olive branch and do my best to play nice. But at the end of the day, I'm going to fight. I'm going to expose the corruption. I'm going to invite you guys into the conversation. We're going to see what's going on. We're going to leverage every power I have in office to get them to do what's right for the people of California. And if not, then we'll re-elect better people in 2022. So let's get this straight. God created man and gave him 5 inalienable rights. Man created government. Government now wants to be God. That's the problem. Now, I didn't get to explain this before, but we live in unprecedented times. We need unprecedented solutions. 20 years ago, I started a business in a small little 200-square-foot office in Downey, California. I had a desk, I had a chair, I had a phone, and a phone book. It was before Google. And through tenacity and hard work, I built that company up over the next 20 years to be what Inc. magazine just named one of the fastest-growing companies in America. And I did it in 2020. So while businesses were shutting down and my industry was imploding, we tripled the size of our headquarters. We doubled the size of our staff. We had our best year ever, and we remained open. We need that kind of thinking in Sacramento. We don't need traditional solutions to solve non-traditional problems. I am the candidate for now. I might not have been the candidate 20 years ago, and I wouldn't be the candidate 20 years from now, but I do believe I am the candidate for what California needs today. Thank you.
So, drum roll, please.
Good luck, everyone.
You can't steal his.
The winner in quite a landslide, today's popular vote, Anthony Trimino.
I'm supposed to give a mock. You actually want me to say something? I don't know what to say. I kind of wish we were in Sacramento right now, to be honest with you. I could get used to this. Actually, I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity that you've given me to come out and speak today. I'm more fond of the conversations we're having in the back, the one-on-ones. My team knows I don't like this stuff. I don't like it, but we have a story to tell. I think it's an important story to tell. And so I continue to wake up each day in obedience and saying yes to all the opportunities that come our way. But at the end of the day, we have a small window of time. Our state is in jeopardy. Our freedoms are in jeopardy. Our children, our businesses, our way of life in jeopardy. And like I was talking in the back, what's happened in Cuba, that does not happen overnight. It's slow. It's a slow fade. It's us being complacent and okay with giving up one right at a time and getting comfortable. And before you know it, we wake up and all of our liberties are gone. And I truly believe that what happens in California can change the world. America is the best place on the planet to live, and California is the best place in America. Yay. And if we can flip California, we can start to flip the U.S., and we can actually change the world. So I just hope that you guys are encouraged tonight, that I spoke enough authenticity to you, that you will go home. I was telling somebody we're each individual flames, and we can't do a lot by ourselves, but together we become a fire, and we can set this state ablaze. So thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have one final